And hello, this is Jim Miller. We're on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. This is Unlocking Personal Leadership Live. And this is Longevity Tuesday, episode number 54. And as I'm working myself to recover and improve and ultimately strive to optimize my health and live a long, joyful, energetic life, I'm starting to have some success with that, and I'm learning a lot. And it's been a real journey from understanding my symptoms, my body, to understanding the medical system and how that could potentially help me or not. And what are my responsibilities in this equation? What is it that I can do personally to affect my health in a positive way? Or what am I doing to affect it in a negative way? And that right there was the key for me is deciding, making a decision, a very conscious decision to be 100% responsible for my health, me. So what did that mean? I had to dig in and start learning. I went to PubMed, I've been to NIH, I've studied and read and experimented with different foods and tried all kinds of different combinations of things and experimented with um, you know taking my diet down to next to nothing, just a few core key foods, and then starting to add things and see how I feel. And it's a long process, and starting to do testing with my blood and my ketones and my glucose and various things, and getting an understanding of how my body reacts to sleep, how my body reacts to stress, how it reacts to different types of foods at different times. It's complex. It's not easy to do. But when you look at it all and you sit back and say, okay, what did I learn? You go, yeah, that makes sense. Makes total sense. And I know now, without a doubt, I have no doubts left in my mind that I have complete control with what I've got going on, and that I can indeed help my body repair itself, giving it what it needs. Learned that my body is very good at repairing itself if I give it what it needs. So give it the nutrition it needs, give it the rest it needs, stop berating it with cortisol and stress, and exercise it. Your body, my body loves exercise. So getting up every single day and doing something, it doesn't matter what it is, go for a walk. The best exercises, there's a whole spectrum of exercise regimes, depending on who you talk to and the research that you read. But at a minimum, walking for 20 to 30 minutes a day, a brisk walk, is without a doubt the best situation, because your body gets some exercise, your brain gets some rest. You can de stress during your walk, not think about anything. Leave your phone at home and just walk on the wild side without your phone. See if you can do it for 30 minutes. And your mind will clear, your body will rest and relax, and you'll be energized with that. So that's my prescription. For me, that's what I try to do, is just get out and do something, walk, go to the gym, have fun doing something outside, and get some sunshine, get the vitamin D. And it's just part of being human. If you're inside all day, it's going to catch up to you. So get outside. So as I'm going through this process, and now that I've got some, I think, a pretty high confidence level on what's going on with me, I'm starting to look at things and question things like that I've been noticing. Like, we have in the United States, we spend a lot of money on healthcare, and we also are very sick compared to the rest of the world. And I started asking a question: how do we compare to the rest of the civilized world, the wealthy countries around the world? And I was shocked with what I learned, and I'll share with you what I learned. This comparison will blow your mind. You'll just be completely like blindsided by this. You'll think, oh, the United States, at least I did. I thought, well, United States, yeah, we're one of the best on the planet. We've got our act together and we know what we're doing and we're taking care of ourselves. Man, was I wrong. Well, let me share this with you. Maybe it'll generate some discussion and maybe it'll wake more than one of you up too as to what's going on with the things that you're starting to feel as you start aging, that you weren't told that were going to happen. So let's or maybe you're expecting them to happen because, well, I'm just getting old. And that's what happens when you get old. Bullshit. You can stay young and grow old. There's ways. And it's not hard. So don't buy it. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to share this with you right now. So why is the life expectancy in the US lower than other rich countries? So Americans have a lower life expectancy than people in other rich countries, despite paying much more for healthcare. What factors may explain this? Kind of a shock, huh? You're going, what? Well, let's see what this says. So why do Americans have a lower life expectancy than others in rich countries, despite paying so much more for healthcare? The short summary of what I will discuss below is Americans suffer higher death rates from smoking, obesity, homicides, easy for you to say, opioid overdoses, suicides, road accidents, and infant deaths. In addition to this, deeper poverty and less access to health care mean Americans at lower incomes die at a younger age than poor people in other rich countries. We could do better, as they say. So life expectancy and health expenditure over time. The U.S. is an outlier. What does that mean? That means we're spending more and living less, living shorter lives. We're spending more and living shorter lives. So the U.S. clearly stands out. As the chart shows below, I'll show you in a sec. Americans spend far more on health than any other country in the world. Wow, far more. We'll see that in a sec. Yet the life expectancy of the American population is shorter than in other rich countries that spend far less. Why? The chart here doesn't just show the latest data points, but how life expectancy and health spending have changed during the last 5 decades, last 50 years. The arrows start in 1970 and connect the annual data points for both metrics, showing the change over time. It's all details. But basically what it's saying is that unequal development over recent decades led to an inequality between U.S. and other rich countries. In the U.S., health spending per capita is up to 4 times higher, yet life expectancy is lower than in all of these countries. The U.S. has achieved very substantial progress in health outcomes over the last 140 years. In 1880, for example, the life expectancy of Americans was 39 years. Since then, it has doubled. That's good. But this extremely positive trend has come to an end. While life expectancy for people around the world continues to increase, the life expectancy for Americans has declined since 2014, the last 10 years. With the pandemic of 2020, which already caused more than 225,000 deaths due to COVID-19 and 300,000 excess deaths, it is unfortunately already certain that the decline of life expectancy in the U.S. will continue this year. Okay, you ready for this? Life expectancy versus health expenditure. So look at this chart. I'll put it in a little easier to look at. So what do we got here? On the side over here on the left, we've got life expectancy in years. It goes from 70, it starts at 70 down here in the lower left. It goes up to 84 years. So from 70 to 84 years, 14 years in this chart. And then on the lower quadrant, we've got health expenditure per capita. That's what we're spending per person for healthcare. So we've got the years here as well. So we've got 1995 is about here, 2000 is here, 2010, 2014, and 2018 is where this chart goes to. So right now, the USA 2018 it's tending to cost more, and the numbers going down. It's trending down. So our life expectancy is getting less, and we're spending more. So right now, we're at about $10,000 per capita relative, and our life expectancy over here is about 78.5 years versus Japan. Say Japan, their life expectancy is 84 years, and they're spending about less than half of what we spend per capita, $4,500. So in all these other countries, Germany, Denmark, Belgium, Austria, Netherlands, Norway, Switzerland, Spain, Italy, Israel, South Korea, New Zealand, Portugal, Finland, the UK, all of these countries, Australia, France, Ireland, Canada, all these countries are similar to us. They're very wealthy countries, and they're spending less than half of what we're spending per capita, and they're living on average quite a bit more. So why? What's causing that? Well, let's take a look. According to this study, life expectancy, one could write an entire book on what the chart shows us. Here I want to look at one key question. Why is life expectancy in the U.S. shorter? Which causes of death are more common in the U.S. than in other rich countries? So number one is smoking. Tobacco smoking is one of the world's largest health problems. Even today, it's getting less and less, but we still smoke a lot. So yeah, you can see the chart. It's headed down, but United States is still the highest right here. So that's kind of stupid, but that's what we do. And then cigarette sales, they're trending down, but United States, it's actually getting better. We're buying less and less tobacco. Obesity, here's a big one. United States has the highest obesity levels per year. So United States, we're at deaths per 100,000 people on this chart. We're the highest in the world due to obesity and the complications of obesity. So why is that? Homicides. United States, we're killing ourselves off. Maybe we're all just so rich and wealthy we're depressed. I don't know. I can't figure it out. We have so much opportunity here, and yet we're displaying the most egregious forms of self-destruction on the planet, and we're spending the most to try to fix ourselves hopelessly in this spiral of doom. Seems like opioid overdoses. Look at this chart. We're like way higher than anybody else. We've got over 12 per 100,000 right now. It's 13.69 per 100,000 people. And that was in 2019, and it was trending up. So it's probably worse now with fentanyl coming in and all that. Suicides. I can't tell who's what colors these are. If it's the same, it's United States. United States was, I think, black. So that's not on here. And road accidents. Yep, we're the highest in road accidents. Annual number of deaths from road injuries per 100,000 people. Deaths include those from drivers and passengers, motorcyclists, cyclists, and pedestrians. So we're crazy drivers. Poverty and economic inequality. That's a big driver. The author talks a lot about that. Infant mortality. Wow, this one shocked me when I saw it. United States is the highest in the world on infant mortality by a good margin. Then you've got Canada, Poland, the Netherlands, France, Greece, Australia, Germany, all the way down to Estonia. So, wow. From 1949 to 1921. Let's see, in 1979, 1980, United States was about halfway down like this, down here. This was United States about in the middle. And now we've just been climbing in infant mortality. And now we take the top rung by a big margin. So why is that? Access to healthcare. Yeah, we've definitely got access to healthcare, but we're still the sickest people on the planet. So let's go back up here to this first chart, and it's like life expectancy versus health expenditure. Oh, there was one thing down here I wanted to share. It was the conclusion. In addition to my overview, I recommend 2 research publications that he cites: Data Presentation on Causes of Death and another one on detail in terms of life expectancy. U.S. has followed behind other rich countries. So here's what he says. Every country should and can do better in this respect. By a particular weakness of a U.S. is a lack of success in preventing poor health. Many of the important factors, smoking, obesity, violence, poverty, are not about providing better health care for those that need it, but about preventing poor health outcomes in the first place. What does that mean? That means maybe that we need to take responsibility for our own health as individuals, as citizens. Maybe that would be the best place to look first. The failure to prevent poor health is a factor that is contributing to both development shown in this first chart, which is the one where we see the United States citizens dying faster, and we're spending twice as much as everybody else. They worsen the health of the American population, and they're expensive for the healthcare system. Now, in the middle of a global pandemic, there's little reason to hope that the U.S. can reverse the recent trend of declining life expectancy. For the years ahead, a focus on high death rates of causes of death that kill younger people can be the starting point to get U.S. population back on track towards a longer and healthier life. So, yeah. I think the problem is us in taking responsibility. And boy, am I glad I have had this awakening for me personally. It's enabled me to completely change my life. I've got more energy now, my eyesight's getting better. My skin tags have gone away. My moles have gone away. My skin feels thicker now. My hair is better. And my energy levels up, and I'm dealing with some, I think, insulin resistance issues, but I'm working towards getting that under control by exercising, getting rid of glucose spikes, eating better diet, doing intermittent fasting. meditating, controlling my stress levels, managing my stress, and getting really good sleep. Those are the four basic areas that I'm working on, and it's working. So thought I'd share some of my curiosity about what's going on here in the United States, and I think that we have so much here to be blessed, that we're so much here we're blessed with, and that I am very grateful for that. I appreciate it, and I want to live here as long as I possibly can. So I'm doing what I can to give my body what it needs to heal and to live a long, energetic, and fun life. So hope that's inspiring for you, and have an awesome day. Tomorrow we're going to talk about uh, building an audience. Tomorrow's audience building. So that'll be fun. And in the meantime, have an awesome evening and day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. See ya.